subscribe.
Hi guys, welcome
Hello.
to 69 Snacks with JV and Tita Pogi.
Welcome
Today
back.
we'll be talking about the much talked about anti-terrorism bill, or SB 1611. It says a lot of things. I'm sorry, it's SB 1083 pala, 1169. Senate Bill 1083. The proponents, the sponsors of the bill, are saying na ito yung sagot ng Pilipinas sa terorismo, na sa banta ng terorismo. And to their credit naman, the international community is lauding the Philippine government for actually creating this anti-terror bill. Australia sent their regards, the United States, even China sent their compliments to the Senate and Congress for creating the anti-terrorism bill.
Parang do those countries have similar legislation? Parang on par ba? Is ours better? Is ours
Stricter.
stricter?
They are stricter as far as Australia, New Zealand are concerned. Their bill or their law is stricter when it comes to punishments.
Okay.
But they're much more better crafted, and their countries do not suffer from the lack of credibility ng police powers ng government, which we currently suffer from. Anyway, the anti-terrorism bill has 3 major points that are very touted by the administration and the sponsors of the bill.
Touted and also controversial?
Well, yes, it's very controversial. Kasi the first point is it's much more stricter and it's very empowering when to the government and the police. We already have a law. I forgot the law that it was passed before about terrorism, but the current Congress and the current administration feels that it's very weak. That's why walang na-arrest ng terrorista using that Senate bill. So they're calling this an upgrade. It's not really an upgrade. See, what they did was they repealed the other law and created this entirely new one. Pero dun sila nag-base. So the basics are there. They have the definition of who the terrorist. And ito, one of the proponents of the bill, si Senator Kiko Soto, ito yung isa sa mga sinasabi niya na hindi dapat ikatakot ng mga tao kasi napaka-linaw dun sa bill na sinasabi na hindi considered terrorism o terrorista ang activism or anything political gatherings or anything that basically pagpaprotesta, pagpawelga, laban sa gobyerno, as long as it's done in the spirit of activism, hindi siya considered as terrorism.
So
It's very
specific
specifically written.
specific yung exclusion, specific din ba yung definition, yung inclusion?
Oh yes. Well, kasi yung inclusion nila, kung ano yung terrorista, is lifted from the United Nations playbook. Kung ano yung definition ng terrorista. So, kailangan kasali ka sa grupo na tinatawag na terorista ng United Nations ng bansa. So, kung membro ka ng group na yun, automatic terorista ka. Kasi nga, yung grupo na yun, terorista yun eh. So, for example, Abu Sayyaf is already tagged as terrorist.
Yes.
If you're a member of Abu Sayyaf, automatic you're a terrorist. That's very clear dun sa law. If you're a member of a terrorist group, then you're a terrorist. Then, if you wanted to cause harm to the masses, then yes, you will be considered as a terrorist as well. So, yun yung specific definition sila, yung meron kang pag nahulihan ka ng bomba, for example, very defined doon, no? Kung bakit ka maging considered as terrorist. So, yun. So it's very defined kung ano yung terrorista and ano yung hindi pwedeng i-consider as terrorista. Dun sa point na ano yan.
So that's one.
It's nice. Yeah, go ahead.
No, that's one.
That's one point. Second point is and ito yung isa sa mga controversial one. It empowers the police to imprison or arrest and imprison people suspected of terrorism. So, if you're a suspected terrorist, they can arrest you, they can question you, and they can hold you without warrant or without trial for 14 days. And can be extended to an additional 10. So, a total of 28 days with an additional 10 days if allowed by court.
Yes.
Actually, no, not allowed by court. If with probable cause.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's very important. Dapat may probable cause.
Yeah.
And I think I heard na upon arrest or immediately or very soon afterwards, kailangan makontak si human rights.
No. Upon arrest of anyone, ang pinakamalino is kailangan ma-inform yung pinakamalapit na judge. Court. Kung saan ka inaresto o kung saan ka dadalhin. They have to be informed within 24 hours of your arrest. So, a judge needs to be advised. Yun lang yan. Pero, ayun, once arrested ka na, the arresting officers should work hand in hand with CHR, with the Department of Justice and everything to make sure that walang violations na nagaganap during custody. Okay? Hindi sinabi doon na dapat sabihin natin si CHR upon arrest.
Okay.
No, but they have to work with CHR hand in hand. So yeah. So it empowers the police, people, the government to stop the terrorist. So nasuspetsahan ka pa lang.
Suspected terrorist, yeah.
This, as the proponents of the bill says, encourages the police to stop terrorism before it even takes place. And at the same time, this should deter
other people,
terrorists planning the terrorist act. Kasi nga, we already have a law na nagpapakala ko pa lang, hulihin ka na. Iisip mo pa lang, huhulihin ka na. We already have a law. Like, so it should deter them from even entering the country or doing it in the country. So that's their second point. Third point, and this is where they're saying is safeguard ng mga tao.
What? Sorry?
Safeguard.
Safeguard. Okay.
Safeguard, yes. So, besides doon, so sinabi mo nga na a court should be informed within 24 hours of your arrest, is that if no probable cause can be established within 14 days of you being held, with the additional 10 days being an option, you should be set free right away. So get done. And at the same time, the Anti-Terrorism Task Force, according to the proponents of the bill, will be consisted by individuals with not really good, great reputations, and people that we can trust. Namely, the secretaries of each department. So the Secretary of Defense, Secretary of Local Government, Secretary of Health, Secretary of everything. Lahat ng secretary with regards to terrorism, police powers and everything will be part of IATF. The Anti-Terrorist Council.
Okay.
Sorry. APC. So yun, that's their point. They created a law to deter terrorism because they believe that terrorists should be fought with a law scary enough for them to be scared.
The intentions are good, but I can understand yung agam-agam ba or yung controversy because parang hindi pa nga nasosolve ata yung mga mysterious na nag-a-appear na lang na bangkay. We don't know who the killers are. Some suspect na it's the police. So parang we're giving the police even more power to just take people. Parang kahit hindi na sila mag-disguise, kahit basta naka-police uniform na sila, they can now take more people. Although it seems na they put in some safeguards, it's parang it has to be seen kung talagang they will inform the judge, kung talagang they will work closely with CHR and yung department heads and yung council na yon. Kasi parang aksidente, nanlaban napatay, ganon, di ba? So parang it remains to be seen. Sana parang lahat ng law okay naman sana yung pag-execute lang talaga and may history kasi yung Pilipinas na medyo palpak or may ibang underlying mga motivation kaya hindi napapatupad ng maayos or kaya napapatupad ng pangit in the wrong way yung mga batas, mini-misinterpret ganyan, twist para mag-work sa kanila. So na iintindihan ko if people will have their reservations on this giving more power to police. Yon. Intentions are good. Sana maayos ang pagpapatakbo, pero naiintindihan ko how people can be afraid that this can be abused.
Hindi lang yun it's not just the abuse itself na very naman ano bang proper term? It's very obvious that it will be abused. Considering the police that we have right now, na patabaing baboy, na wala namang kwenta,
so yung
susuhin nila yung batas na yan.
Yung pumalit ba si Bato naging senador, yung pumalit sa kanya, siya pa rin yung police chief ngayon or may pumalit na rin sa kanya?
Siya pa rin, si Archie Gumo, Oh yes, si Archie gumawa pa dyan.
Okay, so yung sinasabi mong yon medyo hindi maganda yung pamamalakad niya sa pulis?
Wala namang kwenta si Archie Gamboa, kapit naman yun eh. Kung ano lang sabihin ng mga tao na kapaligid sa kanya, yun lang ginagawa niya eh. Have you seen him sa news? May mga nakita ka na bang pag pumunta ka sa website ng PNP, wala kang makikitang achievement niya.
Okay.
Ganun kasimple yun. Anyway, besides the latent abuse na mangyayari, yung mga tao, including me, after reading the bill, you will see kasi doon yung unconstitutionality ng batas.
Unconstitutionality ng batas.
Nasa batas natin, nasa batas natin na I forgot. Ano yung term na meron kasi tayo tawag na
You cannot be
I forgot yung
no one can be without hindi pwedeng damputin basta-basta without a warrant, ganon or what?
Without warrant, yes, meron tayong gano'n. Meron tayong habeas corpus. Kasi once na meron habeas corpus, in effect, dapat may warrant before mo-arrest yung isang tao. But besides that, kasi, I forgot yung term na ginagamit natin dun sa code eh. Meron tayong parang code book ng mga law, no?
Civil code?
Isa doon na napaka-importante din. Innocent until proven guilty. Suspetsya pa lang, arrestuin mo na.
Yeah.
So isa na yun. It can be considered as unconstitutional kasi you're going against, you're thinking that person is very suspicious. You have no solid evidence yet, but you're suspicious. So you arrest the person. Kasi you're thinking na guilty siya. Diba?
I think that's where probable cause will come in, di ba? And the judge reporting to the judge.
And yung probable cause will not come in until after 28 days.
Yeah.
Kasi nga, ang sabi doon sa law, suspected terrorist can be arrested. And then sasabihan lang si judge, may arresto kami. The judge can say, palayaan nyo yan. Or the judge can say nothing. If the judge says nothing, kasi hindi na, sa batas, hindi naman nakalagay doon na kailangan nila mag-present ng case sa judge. Kailangan lang nang sabihan si judge na may inaresto sila. That's how the law is worded.
I think
have to inform the judge they arrested someone.
Baka magbibigay naman ng guidelines yung part na yun ng justice, kung ano yung gagawin nila once they get information na meron na nga inaresto based on this new law.
That's a possibility, no? Na magkakaroon ng guidelines. But at the face of it, even with or without the guidelines, the wording itself is already wrong. It's already unconstitutional. You're arresting an innocent person without probable cause. You only have suspicion. That's number one contention. Number two contention na against the Constitution. It gives the Anti-Terrorism Council the power to designate any one person or any group as terrorist. So, nakakatakot na power yun. They're giving a group of people the power to call anyone terrorist.
Pero guided yon by international standards and definitions. Kasi yung definition pa lang ng
they're supposed to be guided by the law na meron tayo. Na ano yung law na meron tayo? Yung law na Anti-Terrorism Bill.
Yeah,
na
pero
merong
yung
guidelines doon.
definition
Kung
ng
sino yung dapat
terrorist,
tawaging
'di ba?
terrorista, right?
Definition ng
Sila yun.
terrorist based on sa UN definition. As meron namang exclusion.
That's not how the law here in the Philippines work. They should be guided. Yes, that's ideally speaking. But meron tayong local law. Yung local law, yung follow mo. Yung local law natin, very specific kung sino yung mga palintawaging terrorista. Right? Ngayon, kapag yung Anti-Terrorism Council, they're also given the power to define, to call people as terrorists. So, kung ako yung Anti-Terrorism Council, kalaban ka ng gobyerno, or ayaw mo sa gobyerno, or mainit lang ang ulo ko sa'yo, dahil inagawa mo ako ng parking, sasabihin namin, terrorista yung tao na yan. Hulihin niyo yan, terrorista yan. Siyempre, the pulisan will follow the Anti-Terrorism Council. Uhulihin nila din yung tao. They will hold the person for 14 days. 14 days na lang, huwag na 28 days. Mere suspicion. Mere suspicion. After 14 days, papalayain. Sorry, innocent ka pala, pinalaya ka na namin.
Pero natakot ka na. Natakot ka na.
Pero natakot na. Nasira na ang buhay.
So, ang terrorist...
At the same time, may criminal record na yung tao.
So, sa mga ganong kaso, yung council pa ngayon ang mukhang mas terrorista kasi they sowed terror on people who are actually innocent.
Exactly.
Pero I think...
And the thing is, the only defense, the only rebuttal na meron ang Kongreso at ang Senado about that argument is that huwag kayong mag-alala at tiwala naman yung mga tao sa Anti-Terrorism Council instead of actually adding a clause sa bill that will prevent that from happening. Magtiwala na lang tayo sa tao sa Anti-Terrorism Council.
Which yung mga ibang tao wala nga tiwala sa gobyerno in the first place.
Exactly.
Okay.
Kahit na may tiwala tayo sa gobyerno ngayon, what makes you say na yung next government katiwala? What makes you say na say 10 years from now, 20 years from now, hindi aabusuhin yung batas na yan ng mga susunod na gobyerno?
Well, that's true. May mga signs naman na may mga matitino namang binoboto na yung mga tao sa ibang posisyon. Pero nakikita pa rin natin na meron...
Don't get me started with the election kasi hindi na ako naniniwala sa election ng Pilipinas.
Huy!
Well, it's true.
Anyway, yung example mo, medyo extreme. Sana hindi rin mangyari. Sana.
It's not extreme, ha? Hindi pa siya extreme. That's very, very light. Hindi pa siya extreme. That's very, very light.
Okay. Well,
kasi
yung...
ang extreme doon, ang extreme doon is you attacking political rivals. Ako yung presidente. Or hindi ako presidente, senador ako. Senador. May pala akong tumakbong presidente. Kilala ko yung nasa Anti-Terrorism Council. Kung yun, may kilala akong police. Nasabihin ko doon sa police. Extreme na to, ha? Extreme. Senador ako, mayor ako. Mayor. Sabihin ko sa police, tatakbong mayor yung lalaki na yan, kakalabanin ako. Ulihin mo. Sabihin mo, pinagsususpetsyahan siyang terorista. Kulong mo ng 14 days.
That's
extreme.
Yeah,
That's extreme
pero...
already.
Yung even yung light mo na example, it sounds extreme kasi it's not reasonable for
it's not reasonable. It is reasonable
to have anyone
with the current government that we have right now na mayroon silang ginawa like, lahat ng mga kumakalaban kay Duterte. Look at Maria Ressa, look at ABS-CBN, look at Laila de Lima.
Ang extreme kasi tinan mo, these are
government natin ngayon.
These are also Filipinos. to tag them as terrorist under the definition ng international definition, they would be planning something that would harm a lot of people. So parang to think na a senator or a mayoral rival is planning something to parang that can harm a lot of people. Ewan ko if I'm just parang parang in the safety of my bubble na hindi ko maisip yon, pero hindi ko maisip yon right now.
Hindi mo siya maisip right now kasi you are not from the province. But if you are within the provincial areas, kung saan laging nagaganap yung, that's why you always hear sa news, kapitan namatay na ganitong probinsya, si Vice Mayor namatay sa ganitong probinsya. Kasi it happens in the provinces na kapag si Mayor may kakalaban kay Mayor, papapatay yung kalaban ni Mayor. Ngayon, bakit papapatay kung pwede na siyang patulong?
Pero hindi yun acts of terrorism. Ibang ano yun. Ibang kaso yun. Murder yun. Murder.
Yes. Exactly. Hindi siya acts of terrorism. However, it can be used as a guise. Example nga, ito na nga. Hindi ko alam kung paano ba siya i-wording ng tama, no? Kasi parang hindi siya naiintindihan. Ako si Mayor, tatakbo kang Mayor. Kakalabanin mo ako. At sabihin ko, dun sa police, hulihin mo na yan, terorista yan, kasi di may balak yung grupo niya na pasabugin yung rally ko mamaya. Huhulihin ka. At sabihin sa'yo, pinagsususpetsya nga namin terorista, huhulihin ka namin. Manghihingi ka ngayon ng ebidensya laban sa'yo. Right? Proof yun eh. Sabihin namin sa'yo, under sa Anti-Terrorism Bill, hindi namin kailangan magpresenta ng ebidensya laban sa'yo for the next 14 days. So, diyan ka lang sa kulungan for the next 14 days habang naghahanap kami ng ebidensya laban sa pagiging terorista mo. Huwag kang mag-alala, after 14 days, kapag wala kami nahanap, papalayain ka namin. And within that 14 days, nakakulong ka lang. Imagine what it will do to your life. Imagine what it will do to your mind. Babalik pa yung police nun, ha? What if, within that 14 days, torturing ka? Umamin ka na terorista ka.
Naintindihan ko. But those are really, well, yeah, it could happen, pero parang if this is, sana hindi mangyari yon na this law will be used as another tool for politicians, corrupt politicians to stay in power, to extend their power, to keep their power.
Magaling sabihin kasi na sana huwag mangyari yun. Pero napakadali din na gawin na huwag siyang mangyari. Alam mo kung paano? Lagay mo sa batas. Make it specific. Doon sa law na hindi siya pwedeng gamitin as that. Paano? Palitan mo yung word ng suspicion. Lagay mo yung probable cause sa simula pa lang. Alam mo yung human act na pinalitan ng Anti-Terrorism Law, meron din ganito. In the guise of suspicion pa lang, huhulihin na kita. Pero, kailangan iharap na kita sa husgado with evidence.
Yun gusto ko yun. Gusto ko yun.
Tatlong araw, para patunayan yun. Pag wala, kailangan kitang palayain.
Mukhang maganda yun.
At doon sa tatlong araw na nakapakulong ka, na hindi ko napatunayan, nagkamali ako, papayaran ka ng gobyerno ng 500,000 pesos per day. Yun yung nasa dating bill. Tinanggal yun sa bill ngayon. Wala nang 500,000 pesos.
At wala nang probable cause.
Dahil Lacson sa ni Soto, ayaw magbayad ng pulis ng ganong kalaking halaga kaya hindi na sila nanguhuli. Pinababayaan na lang nila yung terorista. That's bullshit. Bakit ka matatakot na magbayad kung kaya mong patunayan yung huhulihin mo?
Bakit yung pulis yung magbabayad?
Kasi nagkamali ka. You accuse an innocent person of terrorism nang walang ebidensya.
But police, hindi ba dapat yung gobyerno magbayad? Kasi agent ng gobyerno.
Noon. Gobyerno nga. Pero syempre, kung ikaw ang police, pinagbayad mo ang gobyerno ng 500,000 a day, you will be fired.
Gagawin mo dapat ng tama.
Exactly. Gagawin mo dapat yung trabaho mo. Hindi lang yung tama, yung trabaho mo bilang police. Mangangalap ka ng ebidensya. But may nakita ka na bang police na nangangalap ng ebidensya? Di ba wala? O sila patabaing baboy lang na nasa estasyon na hindi gumagalaw. Kasi they don't know how to do their jobs.
Okay.
I've read the SOP ng Philippine National Police. Walang gumagawa nun.
Okay.
O sila nakaupo.
So, merong merong distinction between yung parang local terrorists versus international or internationally backed terrorists.
Yes. For example, sa Pilipinas lang terrorista ang Abu Sayyaf. Sa ibang bansa, they're not considered as terrorists.
Okay.
Kasi, hindi naman gumagawa ng pambobomba ang Abu Sayyaf. Anong ginagawa ng Abu Sayyaf? Nangingidnap. Kidnap for ransom. Siguro pumapatay. But not on a massive scale. Pero, tinag sila as terrorista ni GMA. So, as a government policy, as a local government policy, as a national policy, terrorista si Abu Sayyaf. Pero as far as the international community ng mga Muslims, they're not terrorists, they're bandits.
Pero hindi ba sila backed ng ng Al-Qaeda? Or yung yung isa?
No, Jihaya Islamia, yung ISIS.
ISIS yun.
Are they backed by ISIS? They actually no. They wanted to be part of ISIS. They raised a flag of ISIS. They wanted to be ISIS ng Pilipinas. But they are never really recognized by ISIS.
Wak.
Pero it doesn't matter.
Fail.
If you want to be part of ISIS, you can be considered as a terrorist.
Yeah.
Kasi you wanted to be part of a terrorist group eh.
Okay. Closing. I'll give you the final word. Ako, yung I would like yung idea na parang mas mabilis yung pagdala sa judge at ma-prove at mabigay ebidensya at probable cause. I understand yung lusot kung bakit kahit suspetsa pa lang pwede nang i-detain. Kasi yung urgency na baka kung ano pa yung maplano or mabigay na impormasyon to someone else or makasamahan niya na para maituloy yung plano nila, ma-stop na agad. Pero yeah, as you described it, mukhang may mga butas yung batas. Medyo malaki, medyo pwedeng nakakatakot. Yun nga, yung implementation, yung council, if they will hold up to yung tama nilang responsibilidad at hindi sila magpapadala kung sino lang ang sabihin. Doubtful, yes, pero ewan ko, am I naive and hopeful na may pag-asa pa na umayos ang Pilipinas. Matanda na tayo pero well, may mga signs naman. Sana. I'm hopeful. So if other countries acknowledge that this might be a good step forward, sana hindi lang madapa tayo at hindi abusuhin or hindi kailangan magbantay lagi. Bantayan yung mga butas na pwedeng lusutan ng mga masasamang loob na politiko o sino man. Yon. Thank you. Thank you. Ikaw.
Kailangan natin ng anti-terrorism bill. Kailangan natin ng batas na lalaban sa terorismo. Pero hindi itong batas na ito. Itong batas na ito ay basura. yung mga butas na nakikita natin ngayon pa lang, napakadaling solusyonan, napakadaling ayusin. Bakit mo kailangan bantayan yung isang bagay na kung sa papel pa lang naayos na sana? Kaya dahil sa kamamadali nila, tinabayaan nila yung mga butas. Tapos, nasabihin na responsibilidad na naman ng taong bayan ang magbantay. Na dapat responsibilidad ng mga gumagawa ng batas na gumawa ng maayos na batas. Hindi ng basurang batas. Sabi mo, sana hindi tayo matapa, matagal na tayo nadapa. Hindi pa tayo nakakabangon.
Oh.
Hanggang hindi nababago yung kultura ng mga kapulisan, hanggang hindi nababago ang kultura ng politika sa Pilipinas, hindi tayo makakabangon.
So please,
Hanggang,
everybody, vote the correct people. Huwag kayong padala sa perang ibibigay sa inyo. Boto nyo yung tamang tao.
okay,
Nangyari naman sa... Well, we can talk about it another day, pero it looks like some mayors are doing their job. Some mayors are not doing a good job. Maybe some congressmen are doing their job, but a lot more have more power. So, parang eventually sana matanggal na yung mga basura rin na politiko at mapalitan ng mas nakararaming ang talagang iniisip yung kapakanan ng ng nakararami.
hanggang smartmatic ang ginagamit natin sa eleksyon, walang mangyayaring malinis na eleksyon.
And that will be another topic. Everyone, thank you for watching. And leave your comments.
Thank you guys for watching.
Leave your comments down
And,
below. What do you think about the anti-terror bill? Are you anti the anti-terror bill or are you pro? Or do you see it like we do na may mga butas na kailangan pasakan o dapat pasakan yung mga bibig na mga pangit at mga masamang politiko natin? But we have some power also in our elections. Wag lang dayain at wag lang puro bantay na naman tayo. Bantay na lang lagi. Ang hirap na nga yung mga tao. Yeah. Well, ako, don't lose hope. Keep on watching. Like us, subscribe, share, and see you in our next video. See you, Tita Pogi.
See you. Thank you for the time.
Bye-bye. Thanks for watching 69 Sex.
Bye.